It's time now for your weekly fishing reports and real-time outdoor news from the Southwest region. This is Fox Sports Outdoors Southwest.
Here's a little trivia question to begin this week's episode. Which reservoir in the state of Oklahoma consistently produces the most big largemouth bass? If you answered the lake just over my left shoulder, Arbuckle Lake, north of Ardmore, Oklahoma, you were exactly correct. This lake, year in and year out, produces some giant largemouth bass. In fact, it produced the heaviest 5 bass tournament stringer ever recorded in Oklahoma history just this past spring. I'll show you a picture and tell you about that a little bit later. Now, when you fish on Arbuckle, you always need to have one of these handy, because you could hook into the biggest bass you'll ever see in your entire life. Now, I've never personally caught a big one on Arbuckle, and I've been here quite a bit, but who knows, today could be different. While I'm out trying to do that, touring the lake with you, we're going to take you around the region for your very latest fishing reports from our team of insider reporters with reports on your favorite lakes, rivers, and bays. So right now, let's get things started by taking you back to the FSN studios with your weekend plan.
The Solunar tables are providing a poor outlook for your weekend fishing trip. The best chances for game fish activity will take place around daybreak and dusk on both Saturday and Sunday. The sun will rise at 6:19 and set at 8:34. And look for the moon to be 68% visible in the evenings. Stay with us, we have all of your fishing updates from around the Southwest on the way. And I'll return with elite angler Aaron Martins for the Whataburger Ask the Pro. Back in a bit.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Right stuff, low price, every day. By Mercury Marine, celebrating 75 years of marine excellence. By Stren Fishing Lines, the standard of dependability. By Tracker Boats, it's more than just a boat, it's a tracker. And by Fort Worth Nissan. Fox Sports Outdoors is powered by Fort Worth Nissan.
Here's a bite, here's a bite. Got him. Smallmouth. All right. There's the bonus fish for Arbuckle Lake right there. Welcome back, everybody. There's a smallmouth bass for you. Real light colored one. This fish is relating to rocks, and of course their pigment adapts to whatever they're around. A lot of times in the summer when hydrilla grass is growing in this lake, these fish will get really dark. I caught one, a nice one last summer that was a really dark colored fish. That one is a light colored fish. Let's talk about the types of cover in Arbuckle. If you're coming here, or actually there are several lakes, Lake Murray, several lakes here in the central part of Oklahoma that are a little bit the same. You've got a mixture of a lot of different kinds of cover here. First of all, you've got a lot of deep, big boulder rocks. Those are really good. They fall off in deep water, and you can catch a lot of fish around them in the summertime when the fish pull off deep. Then you've got a lot of little gravel, pea gravel type banks, little small gravel points that come out, gravel shoals. Those are good for the smallmouth as well. Then you have some hardwood, some standing timber back in all 3 of the back ends of the main feeder creeks that feed the lake. And then finally, you do have some grass growing here. There are a few hydrilla beds. Most of those are in the mid-main lake area, and you have to look for those with your sonar, your electronics, because you can't see it with your naked eye. Most of the grass in this lake grows down fairly deep, 8, 10, 12 feet, something like that. This is a really clear water lake. If you've never been here, I can actually see down 12 or 14 feet deep in some parts of this lake on a sunny day like this. So really, you need to have good Costa sunglasses so you can see in the water, see what you're fishing, and you need to be, again, we talked about it earlier, fishing back a little bit deeper on this lake than what you might think. All right, let's get you some fishing reports right now. Let's go to Oklahoma. Here's Gary Dollar.
Hey, first of all, I want you to check this out. This is rain in western Oklahoma. I experienced it myself over the Memorial Day weekend as I traveled across that part of the state. And although we didn't get the runoff in many areas that we needed to help fill up some of those small watershed lakes, it definitely helped provide some relief. Good rains at many places across the state. We need some more. Hopefully we'll get that soon. The other good news is the fishing is really good at many places across the state for a variety of species. George Tolson and Justin Haynes are continuing to wear out the bass on places like Grand, Hudson, and Fort Gibson, throwing that biffle bug and hardhead combo across the rocky points 2 to 6 feet of water. They're catching a lot of post-spawn bass doing that. That's going to only continue to get better as these water temperatures and days continue to warm up. Now, as far as the crappie fishing, get in front of some of those shallow pockets and spawning banks on that first break line. 8 to 12 feet deep is where you should be concentrating. Slowly moving with the trolling motor, the jig either bouncing on the bottom or just off the bottom. You're looking for little isolated pieces of cover as you go. You're going to catch some good fish doing that. It's a fun way to fish, and again, you're catching some really nice crappie at this time doing that. White bass are on the flats, 12 to 15 feet deep. You're going to see some shad activity, some birds around there. Check them out for your white bass. Also, good numbers of catfish. Actually, catfish reports from many places across the state. They're shallow, getting ready to feed up for that big old spawn coming up in the next month or so. Great time of year to be fishing in Oklahoma, but one thing about it, you can't catch them if you don't go.
That one. There we go. All right. Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're on Arbuckle Lake today in the Arbuckle Mountains of central Oklahoma, just north of Ardmore. That one hit a Hoo Daddy, Gene LaRue Hoo Daddy right there. Real brightly colored pigment down its sides. Let that one go back. Like that. I mentioned at the beginning of the show that there was a brand new all-time Oklahoma State Tournament 5 bass stringer record caught this spring here at Arbuckle Lake. In a tournament, 5 bass that weighed 42 pounds. Now, I'm not a real math expert, but I can figure out that's about 5 8-pounders. When you come to this lake, if you want to just catch some fish, you can fish up in this 5 to 8 feet of water, something like that. But many of those big ones, those 8 to 11 pound bass that are really common on this lake, come late spring, going into summertime, setting up on deep water humps and ridges, and then on a lot of these rock bluffs. Now look up here in front of me, I'll show you this. You can see right here these rock kind of cliffs, these bluffy looking rocks. That drops off real deep right in there, and then it leads kind of back into a little mouth of a ditch here, and it's got some big huge boulders on the outside of it. That's the perfect kind of a spot that you want to be fishing if you want to catch one of these bigger ones. Don't throw at the shoreline. You have to resist the urge to be a bank fisherman if you want to catch a big one at Arbuckle. Fishing 12 to 20 feet of water is where most of those bigger fish come from. Hey, let's get you some more local fishing reports from your region. Let's check in right now with Brian Hughes in Texas, followed by Bill Olson on the Texas Gulf Coast.
Hi folks, on this week's Lone Star Lakes, brought to you by DEC, we're at the Texas Freshwater Fisheries Center because this Saturday, June 7th, is National Fishing Day, and the Fisheries Center has a lot of activities planned for the entire family. Now those 12 and under will get in free, and there's free hot dogs and drinks throughout the day. They're going to have a catfishing tournament down at the little fishing pond, and adults are allowed to help the kids, but it is primarily a kids event. You'll want to look up TFFC or Texas Freshwater Fisheries Center on the web to get all the directions, fee information, and anything else you may want to know. And you may want to call ahead to see how many kids they expect and whether or not they will have any loaner equipment available for the day. That's this week's Lone Star Lakes from the Texas Freshwater Fisheries Center, brought to you by DEC, the most innovative truck bed system ever. Now let's check in with Mr. Bill Olson. He's on the coast.
Hi folks, this week's report is brought to you by Port Aransas on Mustang Island, the fishing capital of Texas, where anglers enjoy pristine bays, estuaries, 18 miles of surf, and the deep blue waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Plus the local restaurants will even cook your catch come sundown. Come fish and play Texas Island style. For more information, visit portaransas.org. Well, just as we thought conditions could not get any more challenging, heavy rains drenched watersheds that drain into Texas bays. Actually, these rains will help. From the Guadalupe River to the Colorado and San Bernard, Chocolate Bayou, San Jacinto, Trinity, Neches, and Sabine rivers all received heavy rains, and the runoff is pushing speckled trout and bait into the upper coast bays. Look for bird activity to increase in the coming days and weeks. Now on the middle coast, the croaker bite is well underway. Good catches of speckled trout in the 26 to 30 inch class are coming from grass beds and shorelines of the upper Laguna Madre. Even the brown tide is not slowing this bite. On the lower coast out of Port Isabel, Longbar is giving up some good trout on live shrimp and croaker. Southeast of Longbar, live shrimp or voodoo shrimp under a mauler has produced trout. Redfish are also in the mix, hitting most baits. Mexiquita Flats is giving up trout and reds. So is South Bay, along with some drum and snook. With mild conditions in the long-range weather forecast, look for the topwater bite to have some longevity in the morning. Also, don't hesitate to continue to fish floaters like Strike Pro's Boogie Walker or a Mirror Top Dog or She Dog over mid-bay reefs. Now, if the topwater bite slows, Bass Assassin Sea Shad on 1/4 ounce jig heads will continue to produce. Also fish all the jetties as a variety of fish continue to congregate around the rocks. Freelining live shrimp has been best. This weekend, both Saturday and Sunday have a double tide schedule of 2 high and 2 low tides each day. I'm Bill Olson, and I'll see you on the coast.
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Costa Sunglasses. See what's out there. By Luz, setting a new standard in fishing performance. Feel the difference. By Strike King Lures, #1 in fishing. By Lowrance Electronics, find, navigate, dominate. And by Whataburger. Get your day started at Whataburger with the new jalapeno cheddar biscuit.
Welcome back, everybody. You're on Fox Sports Outdoors today, out off a big sandy point on Arbuckle Lake. And this is a big grass bed. There, he dropped it. No, he's got it. Got him. Get out of that grass. We're on a big hydrilla bed. Not much hydrilla on this lake. Good fish. Beautiful clear water. You're done. Don't jump anymore. All right. Yeah, look at this dude. That's a better quality Arbuckle bass right there. Just a good, I don't know, 4 or 5 pound fish, something like that. Out here in a grass bed fishing a little soft plastic. We're gonna let this fish go back in this clear water right here. All right, good to see him swim away in that clear water like that. Let's talk a little bit about grass bed fishing. There's not a lot of grass on this lake, but here's the deal. Anytime you find a lake, whether it's here in Oklahoma or in any of our other regions, even all the way over to Alabama and Georgia, South Carolina, if you find a lake that's got little patches of grass in it like this one does, they are like magnets for bass. Everything goes to the grass. Why? Because it holds shade, especially in the hot summertime. It's cover, protection for the fish, and it's a great feeding ground because they can ambush prey as it goes by. So what I've done here is found some grass. You can't actually see it with your eyes, but I found it on my sonar back here. This grass in the middle of the summertime will be thick out here, but early in the season like this, before it really gets hot, you find it in little patches. You find a little patch, you feel it with that Texas rig, and that's when they'll grab it. Let's get you some more fishing reports now. Let's go to Louisiana. Here's Cajun Phil and Kevin.
Hey friends, Captain Kevin Broussard here with your Fox Sports Outdoor Report. We're talking Louisiana saltwater fishing. Tell you what, it's finally starting to pick up here on Calcasieu Lake along the whole Louisiana coast as well. Other than fighting a little bit of wind, we're starting to catch a lot of redfish, soft plastics under a popping cork, a few trout starting to show up. That's mainly a live shrimp bite. But I tell you what, the whole coast of Louisiana fishing is picking up, and it's going to be a great summer. Give us a call. Right now, we're going to turn it over to old Cajun Phil and see what's going on in the bass scene.
Got a couple of calls this week from my friends up on Lake D'Arbonne. They said, Cajun, right now, the brim are tearing it up. They're catching them in 3 to 5 foot of water. Mostly the red-breasted bluegills, so they're catching them on live crickets. Also, the bass fishermen on Lake D'Arbonne said they're catching a few fish, and again, 5 foot of water over the grass with lipless crankbaits. They said the red color's been working really good. Of course, red always works good no matter where you're at. Now, let's talk a little bit about Caddo Lake. We talked to a couple of anglers there. Yeah, they're catching a lot of brim on Lake Caddo right now. But the big story seems to be the bass fishing. The bass seems to be at 5 to 8 foot of water. They're using Carolina rig lizards. But listen, folks, what they're doing, they're not putting a big old bullet weight in front of it. They put a little bitty tiny split shot, putting about 6 to 8 inches in front of the lizard, and they like swimming it through the grass. They let that little bitty weight pull it right through the grass. They've been hammering lots of bass there. But over in Toledo Bend, it's just the opposite. There, Joe Jocelyn said they're catching them on Carolina rigs, but they're throwing 1/2 and 3/4 ounce bullet weights. They're using about a 3 to 3.5 foot leader. Now what this does, friends, is the bullet weight digs down in the mud and the grass, and it kind of kicks things up. When the bass sees this going on, they look up and they see that big old lizard and they hammer it.
There's a fish. Got it, big one. Look at this big dude. Oh man, look at this. Oh my gosh. Look at this giant pig. That's one of the biggest fish I've ever caught in my whole life. Unbelievable. Look at the size of that giant toad, will you? Holy mackerel. Well, this is what you come to Arbuckle for right here. It doesn't happen nearly every time. They are so hard to catch. But I finally got one of those to hit it. This is maybe the biggest bass of my life right here. Boy, did I ever have him hooked good too. I'm gonna put this fish on the scales if I can. I'm probably just gonna pop that loose right there and let him rot that out. Oh my gosh. All right, we're gonna put him on the scale, so you just hang with us for a minute. All right, there it is, 11.3, 11 pounds and 3 ounces. How about that, folks? All right, we're gonna get this fish back in the water before we hurt her. That's why you come to Arbuckle Lake. Okay, I'll tell you, my heart's pounding, and I'm gonna go back here and take a couple of Valium and a heart pill and some aspirin and some ibuprofen, and I'm gonna lay down in my seats for a minute. One of the largest bass I've ever caught in my entire life right here on Arbuckle. Who'd have thought?
Fox Sports Outdoors is brought to you by Exide AGM Marine Batteries. Starts like new, stays like new longer. By Gene LaRue and Bobby Garland Lures. With our baits, a good day of fishing is in the bag. By Motor Guide, trolling motors engineered for anglers. And by Nitro Performance Fishing Boats. Welcome to the big leagues.
Welcome back, everyone. It's time for the Whataburger Ask the Pro, where viewers can get expert tips from professional anglers. This week's question comes from Ronnie, who wonders, what is the best rod, reel, and line size for fishing a drop shot? For the answer, we checked with 2004 Bassmaster Angler of the Year, Aaron Martin.
Really good basic drop shot rod would be like at 6'10" to about a 7 foot, medium light action. You want something a little bit of tip, it's important. and paired up with 8-pound, I use 8-pound Sniper Sunline, and I like a high-speed spinning reels. They make spinning reels in different gear ratios, so pay attention to that, and you'll see anywhere from 4.7 to even 6.0 now. And I like the faster ones, and you know, that's about it. Drop shot, I mean, I drop shot on 3 or 4 different rods, and I go all the way from to flipping stick.
Thanks, Aaron. If you want help from one of the pros, go to our website and follow the Ask the Pro link to submit your question. Now let's see who wins a new pair of sunglasses on the Costa Catch of the Week.
This week's winner in the Costa Catch of the Week contest is my friend Roger Hayes of Ardmore, Oklahoma. He is showing off an 8-pound largemouth bass he caught next door in Oklahoma at Sardis Lake. If you'd like to enter our Costa Catch of the Week contest, go to our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Right-hand side of the front page, click on the Costa Catch of the Week area, follow the instructions to enter the contest and send in your big fish photo. The winner each week wins a brand new pair of Costa sunglasses, and you can see all of the Costa frame and lens styles. The Costa website, again, go back to the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. Click on the Costa logo. You can see all of their frame and lens styles, like the ones I was wearing on this week's show called Rockport. Next up on the Academy Sports and Outdoors Right Stuff feature, let's talk about maybe the most important but least talked about piece of gear on your entire boat. It's your batteries. If you haven't moved to the new AGM batteries by Exide yet, you're missing out. They do everything better. They charge in a shorter amount of time. They stay charged longer. They're sealed. They're maintenance free, so you can mount them upright or on their side, any angle. They absolutely are the best battery ever produced, and they come in both a starting battery and a dual purpose that will both start your engine and run your trolling motor. You can see all of these at your local retailer, including your local Academy Sports and Outdoors stores. I shared with our viewing audience about 3 years ago the beginning of my journey to better health. I started exercising more, eating better, and I've since lost about 30 pounds and managed to keep it off. But one of the things I learned early on was that you can't exercise enough to eat whatever you want to eat. You can't exercise away bad food habits. And so I've learned that you have to burn more calories than you take in. And one of the things that's helped me do that is a little app for your phone or your mobile device called MyFitnessPal. It's easily available at the Google Play Store for Android or at the App Store for iPhone or an Apple device. And it just simply helps you track the foods you eat during the day, tells you how many calories you're taking in, and it helps you keep track of your exercise as well and how many calories you burn. You might want to check that out if you'd like to begin your better health journey. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed our trip today to Arbuckle Lake in South Central Oklahoma, and I hope you enjoyed my 11-pound 3-ounce bass as much as I enjoyed catching it. Hey, don't forget to join us on next week's episode. We'll be on Thursday night at 10:30 and a repeat airing Saturday morning at 7:30. And if those times ever change, you can always see the latest changes on the front page of our website at foxsportsoutdoors.com. From Arbuckle Lake in Oklahoma, until next week, I'm Barry Stokes. Be safe, have fun. Bye-bye, y'all.